What's up, y'all? One of the things I wanted to do on this truck since forever ago is put a shaker on it. And what a shaker is a hood scoop that bolts to the engine and sticks out of the hood. And you know, when the engine kind of shakes around, either on accel, decel, idling, it moves a little bit. It shakes. Well, an official OEM. Let me wipe my lens real quick. Good enough, I guess. I think an official OEM Hopar hood scoop. It can be a little pricey, and I think it would look cool on the Dakota, but I don't think the way it's shaped will look great. You also get a Trans Am shaker, which I thought about, but I put it on the truck and it looked kind of weird, funny. So I went this route. I'm going with the Mustang shaker. I think this hood scoop will be perfect. And the price was right. I bought this on Amazon for about $460, which, yeah, it's a little expensive for pretty much just a hood scoop, but it is functional. Like, remove the lid and you can see in it. You can see it. So it will be functional and everything, so that's a benefit. And if I just place it on the truck, approximately where it's going to go, yeah, I think that looked kind of cool. I think that looked pretty cool. So, more Ford parts on the Dodge. That's alright. I got Chevy and Nissan parts in it too. That looks really cool, good from the side too. But granted, you're only going to see about this much of it. So, yeah. Anyway, because of the throttle body I have on the truck, I can't just bolt this down to the motor directly. So I have a couple spacers to lift it up. I think this is the one I'm going to use. I think this is a 1/2 inch spacer. This is a 1 inch, and this is, I believe, a 1/4 inch. So, then I got some all thread to stick down the middle with the stock bolt. Here's the base of it. It comes with the filter, which looks a lot like a K&N filter, but it's probably a Spectra filter, more than likely. So theoretically it's reusable, but you know, use the lid and of course the base. And this is a Ford part, so it's got Autocraft written on it somewhere. It is a Ford shaker, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna drop the base and the filter lid and everything down onto the motor. Then I'm gonna drop the actual hood scoop on it. What I believe this hose is, it's just a drain hose for the water that collects over here, because it's connected right there where the little hole is. So yeah, so I'm gonna figure out how this is gonna be going, and yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna lift the hood up, take the stock cleaner out, and get that the base on there. Then I'm gonna drop this on. I'm gonna lower the hood down a little bit. I got a permanent marker. I want to make a rough line where the edges of the shaker is. That way I can line up the hole and just take the hood off and cut the hole and call it a day. Shouldn't be too hard, but I don't know. I'll figure that out along the way. So let me get that started, and I'll see y'all in a bit. Alrighty, so I pretty much got the shaker on the engine itself, and that's kind of what it looks like. That blue is kind of off-putting though, but I'll deal with that later. And I gotta find a plug or something for here. For now, it'll be fine. Yeah, so I had some not clearance problems, but I had some fitment problems on the base onto those spacers. All I had to do was I'm sorry I didn't get this on camera. I was kind of in the middle of it, but the ring that sits onto the, like, what would normally be a carburetor, or in this case a throttle body. I just had like this two like locator tabs that I had to bend up. That way it'll clear the top of the throttle body. Since I'm not using the correct carburetor for this shaker, I have to move those out of the way. And then it's like a thin ring, like a thin lip that goes around that's kind of folded up. I had to unfold the back part flat. That way it kind of captures the spacer, because spacers are just like a thin plastic. So I had to unfold those down to keep the. So what was happening was I'll put the spacer on the bottom of it, and it'll kind of like wiggle off to the side and get like pushed up into the air cleaner. Well, by doing that, it prevents that from happening, and it's on there pretty steadily. Then the oil thread I put down into the throttle body where the bolt where it's supposed to go. Then I just put the base on it, and I went up a little bit above where the base is. That way, and just cut it off with the hacksaw. Then I ran the bolt all the way down those threads that I cut, and I flipped it around, and I put the cut threads inside the throttle body, and have the clean threads on top. That way it'll be easy to get the bolt on and off when I have to service the air filter. Alright, so now what I'm getting ready to do is I'm probably going to put like the plastic that this came in on top of here. That way I can lower the hood. And I got a marker. I'm going to mark where the edge of this is. That way I could, cut the actual hole out. Then I'm going to take a step bit on the inside and on the four corners. Drill the hole. Then I'll pull the hole. Well, I'm going to pull the hood off and cut the hood with it off the truck. And hopefully that's it. I may or may not have to chop this stud, or shorten all these studs actually. I may or may not have to do that. I really hope I don't, but that is something that might have to happen. So I'm prepared for that. And like I said, this is just a water drain hose, and I just have it going down in between the bracket and the power steering pump. I was trying to go in between the head, which probably would, and well, that gap is in the head and the power steering bracket, but it was a little too tight. Like, I could get the hose down in there, but it wasn't going down in there enough for me to be satisfied. Actually, never mind. There we go. So I have it like that. That way the water drained out down and not to the ground, because I don't have a splash pan down there. Well, that's what that's for. So, yay. Theoretically, if I really wanted to, I could just run this thing without the hood. Be like the little Mad Max vibe, but anyway, let me get this taken care of, and I'll get back to you when I get ready to cut it. I want to take a thumbnail. This is gonna be my thumbnail picture right here. So I'll see y'all in a bit when it's pretty much done. I got it on there. Cutting out this hole is actually kind of difficult, doing at least by myself. I made the measurements and everything, but as you see, the hole is shifted up slightly. It's a little close in the back, though. I did clearance it enough to where it's not going to hit. and up here I have to get this piece welded back in, because otherwise you see the screw and it looks kind of ugly. But yeah, that looks cool. I like that. And the view from the driver's seat, looks like that. And I like that. That looks cool. I like that. So I'm gonna call it a success, even though I'm gonna have to go back and have a buddy of mine kind of tack that bit of metal back in. Oops. So it is what it is. I guess the thing you could take from this video is make sure you have someone to help you. And even though I double check my measurements, quadruple check them, because you want to make sure. Now granted, this hood's already trashed. It came off of another truck way back in the day, and I wanted to get an aluminum one, not aluminum, a fiberglass one, which they do sell fiberglass hoods for this truck. So I do want to go that route, kind of save up a little bit of weight. So I will be able to do this all again. But yeah, and when I get the fiberglass hood, I could take the measurement from the actual measurement of the hole instead of kind of guessing checking. So for now, this would be fine. This will do fine. So let me step out a little bit. That coming down the road. Better move out of the way. Alrighty, so this is a bit of time later, and I've kind of modified the scoop a little bit more than what it was. First of all, I'm using the stock Magnum base, because that blue one, the one that came with the scoop, it was just too big. Really, it was pushing up against the line, the coolant lines and stuff, which that wasn't really a problem. But even though I modified the bottom part that goes onto the throttle body to keep from falling off that plastic piece, that adapter was just not cutting it. It kept sliding off on me when I'm driving. So yeah. But so what I did was I took the blue top off the well, there's a plate underneath this scoop that of course screws onto that blue base. Well, I took that bottom plate off and I just got the top scoop. Then I drilled a hole into the filter top, I guess it's called, that blue plate that goes on top of the filter element. I got that screwed down onto the stock filter for the stock Magnum filter. I got that screwed down on it, and there's I still got an open edge all the way around. So this is still technically a functional scoop. I just drilled a small hole into it to capture this screw. Then I got one of the plates here that holds the screw, so when I pulled, if I had the service filter out to unscrew this. Well, I've also got the other tabs right here. These are on that these came from that plate that this was originally screwed onto. This filter was screwed to these. I just kind of got them out, but this is supposed to, so you can see the blue plate right here. But these are supposed to, I was trying to get these to, screw in like that, but these keep sliding off. So I'm gonna have to figure out something better for this. That's what I plan on doing today. Then, as you see, I still got an edge all around. It's not ideal. It could pull in some heat from the engine bay, but I'm not too worried about it because I still got that hose hooked up. Yeah, cooler air, the air pressure from the air going into the scoop pushing down, and also just the idea that cold air is more dense and it'll fall down first. I'm hoping that will be enough to you know, be still somewhat of a cold air intake. I just have 2 slots like this cut out. I might have one in the back too, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull this off. I'm gonna drill a few more holes around the perimeter of this blue plate. That way I got more air going into it from the scoop. So that's what I plan on doing today. And I've also got to fix an exhaust leak. The tube for this side kind of fell down. Bolts probably just came loose, and or hit the 2-step, and it, you know, shot a big fireball and it pushed it down. I'll get a video of that later, of the fireballs this thing could make. It's a little tricky to do on this NA engine, but I noticed that if you rev the engine up a little bit and hit the 2-step button and let it fall back down, that's the one to do the fireball. But I'll get a video of that later where I'm not around my neighbors. Stuff effect, because I like my neighbors, I don't want them mad at me. Anyway, I'm gonna pull this scoop off. That way I can kind of show you better rather than just talking about it. So see you in a second. Okay, so this is a better idea of what I did. As you can see, I cut slots on the side. Yeah, they're not pretty, but you know, they work, especially over on this side. But what I'm gonna do is drill a series of holes going around here. Well, probably close to the edge right here. Hole on this side. I still want the structure here for, well, I guess this side doesn't really matter too much. As long as I got a strong enough lip right here to hold the front of the scoop down. That's what I kind of want to drill. There's a couple of holes, probably say about 1/3 of an inch, or couple 1/4-inch holes all along here. Same thing in the back. You know, just to open it up even a little bit more. This works, but it's as you can see, it's restricted because you know, the other base, it was like this much bigger, and it had all that space for that. Now, yeah, I got this. I still got the stock, I guess, cold air snorkel, still feeding air into the filter, so that kind of helps out there. But you know, if I'm going to have a scoop on here, I want it to be functional. So this setup may or may not stay. I'm still kind of undecided about that. I mean, obviously I already cut a hole in the hood, but I might switch this to fiberglass. There's a nice fiberglass hood that has sort of like a Hemi hood scoop type of deal, like what you see like an old 70s Hemi car. Yeah, I kind of want that because it has an integrated scoop into it. I believe it's functional. I just got to pretty much do this to here, and that'll take care of that. And of course, it'll be, since it's aluminum, fiberglass, to be lighter than the steel hood. So anyway, let me modify this a little bit to where I think will work better. Then I gotta deal with this scoop. I gotta deal with these tabs. Figure out how to get stronger ones. I think I might do. I got some spare scrap steel from when I cut the hole in the hood. I might use those to strengthen that up. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Alrighty, so a million freaking holes later. I think that should be good enough. Yeah, it's still not perfect, but like I said, the 1/4-inch holes, so you just use a regular drill bit. But then they were kind of rough, so I took the step bit right there, and I just kind of deburred all the edges. So at least I know shavings aren't going to fall into the engine, which will be bad. So yeah, that's what I did. So now when I put it on here, on the truck. If I can find a hole. There we go. Yeah, that will give more airflow to the filter. I just got to figure out the brackets for that, because when I secure it from the front, I take this bracket, right, since this is basically a bolt with a tab. Let's put it down underneath like that and secure it. Then the other ones are just, you know, tabs that do their thing. So I think I had it this way. Yeah, I had it that way. That way it'll kind of just fall into place. So, yeah. A similar idea, just put that down and screw it in, and there we go. Rest to it snug. And there we go. So that's that part of it. Now, like I said, just the tabs on that, and I'll figure that out in a second. I think I'm just going to take a little bit of metal, old metal from the hood, if I can find it, and just cut it to where they're the same size, but make the hole a little bit bigger, to where instead of just being barely captured onto here, and you know, that little thin metal tab that bends will be further down underneath there. So that's the plan. Let me see if I can put that plan into action. So I'll let you know in a second. Alrighty, so I found some cut off pieces from the lid, and hopefully this metal will be good. It's laying in the dirt. So what I'm gonna do, mostly with this one, try to bang it out straight. Probably take off this edge. I've got my hammer, the little brick, and I'm just gonna pretty much bring it out straight to where it'll work a little better. Same thing with this piece. So let me take care of that now. I'll drill a hole in one edge of these, and hopefully this will be good. These will be good enough to well, hold the back of that down to where it's not flopping. Because the front's fine, but the back, after a bit, it'll start flapping up and down because those will either bend or move out of the way, like twist. I'm trying to prevent that. But yeah, it'd be better to like have these bolted in. But I'm trying to do it to where have those bolted in. But I'm trying to get it to where I just have to swing those out of the way and just unbolt the front one. So that's why I'm going like this. You know, you never know, I'm on the side of the road or something like that, or out in the middle of say I'm at Autos parts store or something like that, and I'm just bought a filter. I want to be able to do it at over there. Well, I guess if I get some nut certs or something like that and have these like welder or something like that to that lid, that'll work too. That'll probably be an idea over sometime in the future. But anyway, this will work. I think this will work for now. Anyway, let me get this done. Get these bent straight, and see you in a sec when I drill the holes on them and test it out. See you in a second. Alright, so this is pretty much what I came up with. As you can see, I got the tabs right here, and I'm just going to slide it up underneath that glue, just like that, and that should keep that locked down, hopefully. Like I said, probably will back out, probably could back out, but you know, this is an idea for probably design later where I have a piece welded off of here, and then definitely wouldn't go anywhere. And the same deal on this side. Just take the tab, spin it around, and lock it into place. Fortunately, it feels like there's a lot of friction there, so hopefully that will be enough to hold it. Put the little rubber water deflector skirt thing down, and take the drain hose and just stick it in this hole right behind the power steering pump, right there. Just a little bit like that. That's good enough. And there it is. And it feels very secure. You can see clear inside of it. It looks mostly blocked off, but you see the holes. And of course, the slots I have on the side and the back. So, yeah. The best part is when I close the hood, close the hood, it's not sticking out so freaking far. Yeah, turns out that the motor sits offset to the passenger side of it, unfortunately, so it looks a little off. But yeah, point is, before the hood scoop was sticking way far out, and it was looking kind of ridiculous. Now it sits further in. Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to figure out, is this right here, because I think that was probably what's pushing the tabs off the back. It was hitting here, and so that is something I wanted to figure out. Over here on this side's not too bad. Like I said, that's because the whole freaking engine sits further off to the passenger side than I was expecting. I guess I could correct that from here. So let me see if I could do that, because I only got to go over like an inch or two. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get that much of an adjustment out of it, but at least I'll be able to get it off of this side right here. So let me fit around with it a little bit now. I'll show you in a second. Alright, so that looks a lot better. Not as close over here, a little closer on this side, but yeah, it's also partially because my cut's not the best. Because, you know, I did this with the angle grinder and a sawzall. So yeah, it's not gonna be great. The thing I need to do one of these days is probably get like an old extension cord or a bit of silicone, like a silicone hose, and put it on this metal to kind of dress this these corners up. You know, sand them down a little bit to take all the burrs off of them, and put a little bit of black paint. But that's basically something I would need to do. Get some silicone hose, the thin stuff, just to pretty these edges up and make it look a little more uniform. And when the scoop moves around and it hits the edge, it'll have something smooth to ride on. Fortunately, this is aluminum, so I'm not worried about little scratches. I'm definitely not worried about corrosion, because aluminum doesn't really rust. I mean, it does, but not like steel. Once the oxide coating is there, it doesn't go further like steel rust. Unlike iron oxide, steel rust, it's once that starts, it keeps going. Aluminum, once the top layer oxidizes, it stops. There's just no more oxygen to get into it, and it is weird. It's weird. Well, anyway, yeah, I'll get that. Then I'll probably get another coat of paint for this. At least touch up paint for the sides. But yeah, I'm going to call that pretty much done on the scoop. So that's how she looks. Next thing I gotta do is fix that exhaust leak, but I'll do that on my own time, because that's literally putting the tube up a little bit higher and tighten down the bolts a little bit further. Yeah, this truck is coming along really well. Things I want to do in the future the very near future is I need to truck these tires, because the way the alignment is on this truck has a lot of camber in. But I want to do a 5-lug swap on this thing. That way I can run a different set of rims. Rims that are designed for a wider tire with a different offset to kind of bring the tire out a little bit. And of course, the wider tire will give more grip and more traction. So that's one thing I want to do. On the back, I have to change the bushings and the leaf springs, because right now the truck's got a lot of wheel hop. And of course, like I said, the 5-lug conversion. I may one day do a rear disc conversion, but I'm not too worried about that at the moment, because this truck just technically goes no faster than what it already did. Just gets up to speed a lot faster. But yeah, so that's one thing. This is my spare tire, by the way. The other Cooper Cobra I had on here, it has a slow leak, I believe, at the valve stem. So I took it off for now because I was tired of filling it up every day. Then then I also want to put slapper bars on it. They help keep the axle from wrapping up, kind of like Caltrax bars, but a lot cheaper. I want to redo the exhaust system. I want to redo this exhaust system. It works good now, and it's freaking cool. But the way I have the exhaust, as you can see, it's not pretty. It hangs down pretty far. And I would like to maybe not lower the front, but lower the rear, level the truck out, because it stands pretty high in the rear, because they expect people to put stuff in the bed, and when you put stuff in the bed, it drops it down. So I want to level it out, because I don't intend on using this truck for really much of any hauling, except for maybe some stuff back and forth from my storage unit. So I have to redo the exhaust. I still want to have the side exit, except for instead of it having it coming out the side right here, I want to have it come out the back. Because if you look at the truck, the back kind of ramps up like this, so that will bring up the clearance. And the reason why I didn't have this pipe coming out like right here, the gas tank's right there. The gas tank starts like right here, and I didn't want to have any issues with heat, especially when this thing's just throwing a fireball. So I want the exhaust to be after the tire when I'm on the two-step and it shoots a fireball, just for safety, and it'll still look cool, just not as. But it'll be functional. It'll be a functional reason. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing will be on this side. Look at the front. Yeah, I guess the front could go down like 2 inches. I don't want to go down too low, because the way my driveway is, I could run into scraping issues. What I might do is drop it down and get like a thing for down here that hangs down a little bit further. I'm not really too worried about that. That's just ideas for the future. But yeah, the main point of the video was the scoop. I'm going off on a tangent, but that's how the scoop looks. So yeah. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. I might start a Instagram for both the truck and the car, but I'm unsure. If I do, I'll leave that in the description. Just be safe, have fun, and don't forget to tip your waitress.